Bodybuilding, invented in 1889 by Eugen Sandow. People have been lifting heavy things and getting bigger because of it ever since rocks, arms, and food have existed simultaneously. But Eugen, a German strongman, revolutionized the concepts of bodybuilding. After he was done showing off how much raw weight he could heave with his bare hands, he then would spend literal hours just posing at the audience so they could sit in awe at his physique, showing people that just cause you're a big, strong lad doesn't mean you can't be beautiful. Bodybuilders come in all shapes and sizes, be they massive, shredded, or both. And as with most things in life, bodybuilders don't like to take advice from people who are less experienced or not as good as them. I mean, why would you ever listen to someone who is less massive, shredded, or both than you? As such, you're probably wondering if I have any authority to speak on this topic. So excuse me for 1 second, I need to find a weight scale. Holy fuck, okay, I'm actually too embarrassed to say what my weight is. I'll tell you this though, my BMI is... it's low. You know, over the year and a couple months this channel has been up, this depiction of me has gotten less and less accurate. I sliced off my afro not too long ago, my glasses are now rectangular, I haven't seen the sun in about 10 months, so my complexion on the Sammy Sosa scale has gone from here to like here. But oh man, this part right here, that's dead on accurate. Anyway, at this point any serious bodybuilder has left, but for those of you who have stuck around, I swear I do know what I'm talking about. I can't put into words how many motivational compilations of Ziz and Arnold I've watched. Trust me, if anyone knows what it takes to build the body of a Greek god, it's me. Or, you know, someone who has actually done it. Let's get started. How exactly do you build the physique of your dreams so that you can look how the everything-based mixtape sounds? Before you get started, you have to decide what you want to focus on. Do you want to build your body for strength, or do you want to build your body for aesthetics? Don't pick both. We both know you don't have the discipline for both. I already know what you're thinking. Actually, idiot, people who are after purely strength aren't bodybuilders, they're powerlifters. You really should have made 2 videos. Listen here, Liam. You think Eddie Hall was just born with that body? Huh? You think he just went down to Powerlifter Body Mart and purchased it? Huh? No. You know what he did? He fucking built it with his own 2 hands and years of hard work. And do you think I have the work ethic to make 2 videos every 2 weeks? You clearly have not been here long. Consider what's more important to you. Being able to do something effectively and efficiently, or looking good while you do it. I mean, sure, being able to deadlift 1,000 pounds and becoming a human forklift has its uses in day-to-day life, but what's the point if you can't see the striations on your obliques, or look like you would suffer greatly from one misplaced piece of paper? I know where I stand on this, but it's up for you to decide for yourself. I'm willing to help you along the way, of course, with an unbiased pros and cons analysis of being huge versus being shredded. Pros of being huge: you can lift anything you come in contact with. Cons: unless it's bolted to the floor, you have to consume the same amount of calories as a small city just to keep your physical being in motion. You can't fit through normal people doors. You're gonna need to invest in a CPAP machine because your trachea can't handle the massive heft of your neck while you sleep. You'll need to buy at least 3 plane tickets for every strongman competition you go to. Honestly, this sounds like it's an episode of My 600-Pound Life. The only difference being, rather than needing a machine to carry you around, you are the machine that carries things around. One more pro: you have a guaranteed career as bar security should your current job fall through. You know, on account that you're too heavy for the above ground levels to support. The regular world just isn't built for you. You're gonna have to move to Iceland or something, a place where giants can roam free with all the heavy rocks and bars they could ever want to lift. You know what, I'm moving that to the pros section as well. Move to Iceland. Pros of being shredded: you're entitled to a minimum of 100,000 Instagram followers, becoming the male equivalent of an e-girl. But rather than selling pictures of your feet and softcore pornography, you sell weightlifting and dieting programs, both of which can be found in abundance for free on the internet, so not really sure how this business model works. You can be a walking, talking anatomy reference for your artist friends, and women might actually talk to you. Probably not actually. Dudes will definitely talk to you though, so that's something. Cons? None. Whether you're trying to become a Mack truck or a marble statue, you have to meticulously plan out 2 things if you're ever going to reach your goal: how much weight you put up, and how much food you put down. The approach you take with these 2 methods will vary depending on your current status and your end goal. To ensure that your end goal is a good one, recall from your Business Management 101 class the acronym of SMART: severely mismanaging any and all resources. The T is silent. So how exactly do we best utilize the resources needed to reach our goal? In the case of building for strength, you need only 3 weightlifting techniques: bench press, squats, and deadlifts. Every day, you're gonna do between 0 to 20 sets of 1 rep per exercise. You load up your weight, lift it once, put it back down, and then take a 10-minute rest before loading up again. If you're unsure of what weight to use, remember that power lifts start at 1 plate, and if you can rep that once, add another plate. Repeat until your body collapses under the weight of the bar and you've found the perfect weight you need to train at. When playing around with enough weight to crush a cluster of children, it's important to practice proper form for safety's sake. With squats, you want to keep your feet shoulder width apart and turn them outwards a bit. You can turn them outwards a lot if you really want to activate those MCLs, and by activate I mean obliterate. Start by standing up straight. As you drop your hips, don't let your knees go further forward than your toes. Keep your back in a neutral position as you drop your hips down below your knees, and then drive with your hips as you stand back up. Deadlifting is pretty simple. All exercises involve picking things up and putting them back down, and the deadlift is the most true to that as you can get. Have you ever picked something up off the ground? Then you know how to deadlift. But if you ever hurt your back by picking something up off the ground, don't do it like that, you idiot. Remember to drive with your hips as you stand up. With bench press, you want to get as much focus on your pecs as you can, so pin your shoulders back, arc your back a little bit, not as much as you do when you deadlift, you shitty form having bitch. Control the weight as you bring it down to your chest, and then drive with your hips as you stand up. Managing food is pretty simple on a strength building program. Your rhinoceros-like body needs a lot of energy to not fold under its own weight, so you need to funnel in as many calories as you can get your hands on. Whether or not the food is quote-unquote healthy is irrelevant. Who cares what your body fat percentage is when you can deadlift a small nation? If being shredded is your goal, you're much more free in your choices of weightlifting, but your diet will be much more restrained. You need to work every muscle in your body to a decent level if you want to look good all around. You can't just work on the useful ones like with powerlifting. That means your calves, forearms, neck, pelvic floor, the auricular muscles, and so on. If this is your fitness goal, you need to quit your job, drop out of school, break up with your significant other, and say goodbye to your family because you need to spend a minimum of 10 hours per day in the gym. Preferably, you just sneak your belongings into the air vents and live there like some sort of muscle goblin. You come sprinting out on all fours covered in protein powder to steal people's 45-pound plates while they're between sets and drag them back to your den. Your diet is much more restricted when trying to get shredded. If you want to reach the metabolic holy land of losing fat while also gaining muscle, you're going to need to micromanage every single calorie and have the perfect balance of protein, carbs, and fats. You need to have an in and out, up and down, forwards and backwards understanding of everything you put in your mouth, down to the picogram. Speaking of picograms, there is another resource that can be mismanaged to help you on your journey. A little extra boost to help your gains along the way. I'm of course talking about steroids. Steroids make you better in every way with essentially no drawbacks. Steroids can increase your muscle gain and fat loss tenfold. They make you incredibly irritable anytime you're outside of the gym. Remember that it's natural to be angry sometimes. It's just your brain's way of signaling to you that something is wrong. And clearly something is wrong if you're not currently pumping iron. It shrinks your genitals, reduces your sperm count, and then shrinks and reduces your sex drive. This is helpful as it removes another distraction from your life that could take away from lifting heavy things. It causes long-term damage to your organs, specifically your liver, kidneys, and heart. This seems like a negative, but it's just the reality of min-maxing. In an RPG such as the reality we live in, you have to neglect some things in order to benefit others. Thus, we minimize the functionality of our vital organs in order to maximize our gains. Before we end this, let's work through a quick example and try to piece together a proper workout routine and diet for this person. Let's say we have a dude who's 5'10", 230 pounds, 20% body fat, and he wants to reach 190 pounds, 3% body fat, and be 6'3". Obviously, we're going more towards the shredded route, so we need to combine at least 3 workout routines found online in order to cover all the necessities, a diet consisting solely of protein powder, carbohydrate powder, and fat powder. That way he can ratio out his macronutrients to perfection. Maybe throw in some water if he finds shoveling multiple tablespoons of powder into his mouth a little unpalatable. Then inject some anabolic steroids directly into his femurs to simulate bone growth. Within 2 months, his goal will be reached, or he'll be dead. And that's it. I wish you luck in the pursuit of your goals. I hope to hear from you after you've planned everything out, and then decided it would be too much work so you just give up before even starting. That's what I did. I mean, I already spend far too much time checking myself out in the bathroom mirror, and I look like a skeleton with a light caramel glazing. If I was actually in shape, I'd get even less done than I do now, which is very difficult to imagine. Remember everyone, you should rationalize your decisions well after you've already made them. And now a word from some of my patrons. Just like the perfect body, the N-word pass is a myth and does not exist. However, the amount of gains one has is insignificant next to the power of the based god. Thank you, based god! Another thing to consider is that meat is actually unnecessary because protein from meat is just reused protein that livestock ate. It doesn't make you a bad person if you eat meat, dairy, and eggs, but remember the gospel of the one true based god and realize it's better if you don't. You are now tuned into the tomb of Jehovah. Play my tunes loud enough to shake the room. What's the holdup? Heard the world was ending soon. I assume it's what they told ya. They tryna dinosaur us, so now it's time to go up. The sky is falling, baby. Drop that ass for it. Crash. The roof is on fire. She wet like Barbra Streisand. I'm making a Target run. Does anyone want anything? Dr. Frankenstein. Bodybuilding before it was cool. Mixed race is the master race and everyone can contribute. Donate today and receive a 100% off discount on birth control. Take it to your heart now, lover.